Okay, good afternoon all. So let us start our today's session, third lecture of unit number 1. Last lecture we have seen natures and characteristics of management. We discussed a lot of various characteristics, how management is, its meaning, right? So that discussion we made last lecture. Then we discussed its purpose and significance. Then we started a discussion on this system approach to management. So we were discussing that system approach, and we started discussion on this input output model, right? So system approach to management with the help of input output model, and we discussed in detail like what is environment, what is system, what is input, what is output, what is transformation as per as the industry is concerned, also feedback, right? So this discussion we have made, and I have given example of what is meaning of system, right? So we discussed like our human body is also system, right? Because it has various organs, right? Muscles, bones, and various parts are interdependent and interrelated, right? That's why this is particular system. Again, I have given example of system like our college is also a system, right? Like you are the part of system, right? Professors are the part of system, college is a part of system, right? And all things are under inside the environment that we have seen. Then we have discussed again about the what is the input, right? So this system and input output transformation is as far as the industry is concerned, right? So we have seen various inputs in the industry, right? So if you need output in the industry, then you should have inputs, right? So what are those inputs? Like raw material is input, right? Human resource like manpower is input. Then capital, money is input. Then technology which you are using, it is also input. Machineries are input. Whatever information you are using, it is also input, right? And that input you are transforming with the help of transformation process, like you are getting work done from your employees, right? Employees are doing certain activities, they are operating machineries. Then managers are managing various activities in the organization with the help of technology. They are transforming, they are processing, in short you can say, right? You are processing on input and you are getting output, and output may be product, service, financial result, information, or human resource result, satisfaction, like that. And if output is not satisfactory, then that feedback will go to input, and their manager has to change the input. If product quality is not good, then that person has to change raw material. He has to procure the good quality raw material. If rejection rate is more, he has to change the manpower, or he has to train the human power, like that. Getting? So this approach is there in industry related to management. Okay, and this is a system, right? That's why this heading of our discussion is, you can say, like system approach to management. So along with these inputs, there are many inputs, like we have seen inputs from external environment. You will get like people, you will get capital, you will get manager skills, technical skill, machinery, man, money, right? So all thing you will get, but along with that, in addition, you will have various inputs, and manager has to consider that inputs also. And sometimes people neglect, and we also think like these inputs are not valuable. Friend, first input, other than this which we have discussed in input output model, other than this first input, like people demand various things. What they demand? For example, employee demand the higher pay, they want more money, right? They want more salary, in short, more benefits, like they need more incentive. People or employee need or they want job security, right? So this is also input manager has to consider along in input output model. Along with previous inputs, these small inputs also manager has to consider while input while managing. Because employee want higher pay means definitely he may leave and he may join another organization, Who will be in loss? Obviously, current organization, right? They need more benefits. They need more incentive as they are working. It's their right? They will demand the more benefits. Even they need job security also, like permanent order and like that. They will demand like, how can you give us permanent order? So this is also input in the management. Then another, for example, input from consumer, like people want safe product. They need reliable product. They need that product they need in reasonable price. This is also input, right? People are demanding before production of your product. People have various demands, and that you have to consider as an input. Getting. The next one is that suppliers want assurance. Supplier want assurance. What kind of assurance they want? Like they want assurance, our product should be bought by somebody, right? Otherwise we will not become a supplier of your product, right? They need assurance. This is also comes under the input. Then again, that stakeholders or investors need returns on their investment. Yes, they are investing. Definitely they will have they will demand, or they want that particular returns on that particular investment, whatever they made in that particular organization. Along with returns, they are also demanding like security of our money. They need guarantee, like we are investing, so is there guarantee to return that particular amount? This is also comes under the input. The next one is states and local governments demands taxes, right? It is true, every enterprise need to pay, right? So even people are paying tax, still people that government is asking follow our norms, right? It is rule, and this is also input. People has to comply their rules, laws, regulations, right? At one side you have to pay tax, and another side you have to follow their rule, right? So you are paying money to government, and government is telling follow our rules. That you have to consider as an input. Getting. The next one is like even a citizen like us, we are like thinking like that organization must be a good and provide number of job within very less pollution. Means we should produce many products, but pollution should not be there. How it is possible? Not possible, but this is a demand, and you have to consider as input. I should make less pollution. That will be your input. Getting. So along with certain inputs which we have seen in input output model, beyond that, these are the various inputs, and as a manager you have to consider it, because you people will be the future manager in the organization. Getting. So that's why these many aspects you should consider, and you should understand how many inputs will be there in the organization. So I have told so many inputs. Inputs means for producing output you need certain inputs. So everybody is mature enough to understand what now inputs will be there in industry. So can somebody want to add like, sir, beyond this, I want to say like this is also input. Man, machine, material, energy, whatever it may be, and this demands of customers and suppliers and society, this is also comes under the input. But can somebody want to quote here like, sir, these are the inputs? Beyond this, yes, you can allow to contribute here in chat box. Take 1 minute and put think and put your inputs in a chat box. Take 1 minute for this. Yes, anybody? I have told so many inputs, but let me see from your side, from my side, all inputs I have told. Anybody want to contribute? Hints I have given: customers, from customer side input, from supplier side input, from society side input, government side input, employee side input, right? Okay. If no input, then we'll proceed to transformation process. What exactly it is, and then we'll see output. Okay, so if not, then let us discuss next point, like transformation process. So name itself is indicating like doing something operational on that input and producing the output, right? So friends, this transformation process is the role or task of the manager to transform input into the effective output, right? Not only manager, yes, manager is responsible, but in his organization, he may have many more subordinates also, right? But this transformation process is the major role of manager. Manager has to manage it, right? And that transformation process may be like doing operation on that particular job, finishing particular job, right? Transforming, in short, transforming input to output, that process. Getting? And manager should convert this input into output through his managerial functions or skills. He has to implement his managerial functions. What are those managerial functions? Like planning. He has to plan for transformation process. He has to organize. He has to stop. He has to do stopping activity. He has to lead. He has to control. So these many functions he has to do, and he has to transform that input to output. Getting? This is the one thing. Then after transforming the input, output will be there. So what may be the output? Obviously your goal, your organization's goals, like product, service, profit, satisfaction, etc., etc., that will be output. But majority, if you see, the product will be the, in industry especially, product will be the output. Getting? Major that satisfaction, and all these people give very less weightage. But friends, this is also important. Satisfaction is also important. Yes, industry will get product, industry will get service, profit, but satisfaction is also ultimate outcome, right? So output, that you have to consider. But people very neglected that satisfaction. But in industry, whenever you will enjoy the job, then satisfaction you will correlate, right? So friends, this is about the system approach to management. Friend, I have told what is system and why management is considered as a system, because management, in management, that goal is that they want to achieve certain things, right? Management is purposeful, right? Some purpose is there, right? So certain few things are little complicated. This beat and explanation you may confuse, but try to understand. In industry, whatever people are targeting or expecting, that is a system. So machinery, man, material, everything is there. So that considered as a system. And whatever systems approaches are there, like our human body approach, so same approach is there. Getting? So that I have told. So in exam question is like that: what is the input output model in system approach, or explain system approach with the help of input output model? You have to draw chart, you have to give example what is the system, what is the management, and you have to give contents of input, then transformation process and output, right? So this will be the explanation of it. Anybody want to ask anything related to it? Otherwise, we have to cover today's new bit, like functions of manager, social responsibility and ethics in managing, then this ethical related aspects we have to see today, and even if we'll get time, then we'll discuss planning also. Okay, so I hope if anything you want to add, contribute, then you can add here. Otherwise, I will proceed to next bit. Shall we proceed? Okay. So let us discuss a very interesting bit, functions of manager. Friends, you will become manager in future, definitely, right? Let it be, you will not be a employee for only like production shop or design. Obviously, after a certain experience, you have to handle the managerial responsibility in industry. Getting, and remember, without proper management, you cannot see any successful organization. Those organizations are not having proper management, they are not becoming successful. So if you want to become a successful employee of successful organization, management should be a good, and you should know functions, right? You will join as a manager, but if you are not knowing the function, हे माझं काम नाही, right? So if you say that, then on that day your role is vanishes there. So try to understand various functions of manager. You people, after certain experience, you are going to become manager. Maybe you will become a lower level manager, middle level, or top level manager, right? So depending on your experience, your contribution in that particular organization, you will get that level of management, right? So before proceeding to understand the functions of manager, let us understand meaning of manager. I am telling like you are the manager, but what is the actual meaning of manager? Let us discuss. Friend, manager is a person, right? So there should not be any doubt. Manager, sometime nowadays there are robots, those who are doing working as a manager. So that may be the exception. But friend, in normal, you can say manager is a person responsible for planning and directing. Obviously, manager is a responsible person, and you cannot say like employees are irresponsible. They are also responsible, but for getting certain tasks, getting work done from employee, you are the responsible. Getting, you are handling that manpower means you are responsible. You are responsible for what? That person is responsible for particularly planning and directing. Getting, planning and directing, and getting work done from group of individuals. You have to get the work done from them. Monitoring their work, not only getting work done means work has been given and you will sleep in your cabin. It is not like that. You have to monitor their work, whether they are doing or not. Yes, if they are doing, whether they are doing in proper manner or not. Getting, that also is the role of manager, and taking corrective action whenever necessary. During monitoring, if that manager observes like something is problematic, something is going wrong, then that manager has to take corrective action. Getting, so that person is a manager, person responsible for planning and directing the work of group of individuals, monitoring their works and taking corrective action whenever necessary. So that person is a manager. Getting, म्हणजे सुरुवातीपासून शेवटापर्यंत जबाबदार व्यक्ती manager. So he is having certain functions. For example, planning is a function of manager, organizing is a function of manager, staffing, leading, directing, controlling, coordination or coordinating. These are the functions of manager. In industry, manager has to follow. Let it be middle level, top level or lower level manager. They have these functions. Getting? So let us discuss these functions in depth one by one. And first function here is a planning. So as we have discussed in the beginning of our title of chapter, like what is meaning of planning, right? We discussed. So we understood there, like planning is nothing but deciding something in advance, what to do in future and how to do it. So these two questions are very important in planning. What to do and how to do. काय करायचं आणि कसं करायचं. That deciding in advance for future is the planning. In short, you can remember. We say like, I have plan, I want to make planning. Planning means it is for obviously for future. But in planning, in advance you should decide. Planning should not be on the spot. Planning is every time planning is in advance. And what you should consider for that? What to do and how to do. If you able to answer these two questions, your planning is ready. Also, planning includes defining goals. In planning, you have to define the goal. Like, I want to achieve this so and so. Like, I want to produce 1000 components per day. That will be your goal in industry, maybe short-term goals. And to achieve that, you should establish strategy. And for that, you should have plan, you should develop plan. And later on, you have to start coordinating that. Getting? So this is the planning. So planning is very easy to make, right? But execution quite difficult. So we plan to visit or enjoy various places, tourist places, right? But success rate is very less, right? So here also success rate is less, but it is not allowed in industry. If you are having less success rate, then you will be having failure. So along with planning, if you are having further functions, only planning, success rate is very less. But along with planning strategies, if it is there, then success rate will be more. Getting? Yes, you may have 1000 component target per day, but yes, 900, 950 allowed, right? Here and there. But 1000 target is there, plan is there. As per the customer's requirement, you have made plan, but you are producing 100 and 200 components. Not allowed, right? In industry, it is not expected. Okay. So along with this planning, manager has various functions, and if he do that various functions sincerely by dedicatedly, then definitely success rate will be more. Now, friend, next function of manager is organizing. Friend, it is nothing but determining what task has to be done. Who is to do them? Simple questions are there. Try to understand who is to do them. Next thing is that how the tasks are to be grouped. Who reports to whom? Fair decisions are to be made. So that is organizing. Planning and organizing looks similar, but there is a difference. Planning is in advance, but while executing, you should have these answers with you. Like, what task has to be done? काय करायचं exactly? Who is to do it? Or who is to do them, or that whatever work is there. Then how the tasks are to be grouped, right? So task must be done in a group, not individual, right? Group task is there always in industry. Then who reports to whom? What after working? Who should report like how much work is done? Or if any query is there, any difficulty is there, who should report? Who should take help from whom? And fair decisions are to be made. काय अडचणी आल्यानंतर मग कुठे डिसिजन घ्यायचे कशाबद्दलचे. So in nutshell, I will say like organizing means assigning duties, grouping the task, establishing authority, and allotting resources required to carry out the specific plan. 4 things are there. In short, you can understand. In organizing, assigning the duties, right? So assigning duties, then grouping the task, establishing the authority, and allotting the resources. Friends, assigning duties means who is having what work, that duties, giving that particular duties to employee. Then next one is that grouping the task, dividing the work. If big work is there, dividing. Somebody will do design, somebody will do drafting, analysis, like that, production drawing preparation. Then establishing authority. Who will be the boss there for particular group, or who will be the leader for particular task. So that is nothing but establishing authority and allotting the resources for producing the product or achieving the whatever task decided. You should have resources means machinery, tools, raw material, these resources, or softwares, computers, giving that particular resources to that team or that group of people. Getting? So this is nothing but a organizing. Getting? So third function is there, staffing. Very simple, but need concentration from HR department. So in short, if you want to understand what is the staffing, friend, right people for right job, that activity is a staffing. Right people for the right job means if you have certain designing task, so you should appoint designer there. If analysis related task, you should appoint analyst there. Getting? So that is meaning of right person for right job. So that activity in the organization is called as staffing. Staff recruit करने म्हणजे staffing. So this is a recruiting activity. Maybe you can take from outside, you can recruit the people, or another alternative is there, you have already recruited employee. So choose who is appropriate for what role. If somebody done very nice task in previous project for design, so you should carry that person for design. Why you are recruiting another new designer, right? Somebody has done analysis related job very nice in previous job, so you should carry that person for analysis job, not required to recruit another new one, right? So staffing means finding the right person for right job. Getting? Along with this activity, staffing has many more activities like calculating manpower requirement. In staffing, calculating the manpower requirement is also one of the role. How many employees are required for so and so work? Calculation must be there. Then next one is that appraisal and selection of candidates for position. Appraisal means evaluation of employee or giving rating to that particular employee. Like this employee, 4 star, 5 star, 2 star, 3 star, 1 star, like that. Whatever, depending on performance, in staffing, this is the activity. And obviously, why this rating is there, appraisal is there, for getting incentives and increments. For that purpose, appraisal is there. So friends, remember these terms, right? In coming year, within few months, you will come to know this kind of terms. You may think like how I may get increment in the organization, obviously appraisal. So you will be appraised by your authority, and that will be considered for incentives, giving incentives and increments in that particular month, 6 monthly or yearly. Then staffing also includes selection of candidates for position. Means recruitment process is also part of staffing. Then training and development of candidate on the job in order to improve their capability and potentiality, or potential, whatever it may be. So friends, giving training to your existing employee or a new recruited employee is that activity comes under the staffing. And whose role it is? It is role of manager. Obviously, staffing role is belongs to HR department. HR manager has this particular role. I hope you got the clear idea related to staffing. The next function of manager is leading or directing. Leading and directing, same meaning. Giving direction to an employee means directing. Leading the team means leading. Leading particular team or handling the people from team is the leading. If you come utter the word like leading or directing, means there people feel like I am the boss, I am the right person in this particular group. But basically friends, in leading or directing, first role of manager or function of manager is that motivating the employees. Motivating the employees is the basic role. Motivation, giving motivation to employee. Getting? So sometime boss means you may have a picture in your mind like who is the boss? Always giving orders, not listening to employee, right? So that is the mindset, right? And this is a picture in our mind. But remember, you will be the manager. You have function of leading. Friend, first motivate the employees. Motivation is very, very essential in the organization. Because every there is a human, right? Human need always motivation. And who should give motivation? Yes, motivation may be not only like चालतंय कर होईल. No, you should give him support, like which technology you should learn, how to learn, take time, right? So it is expected. Then directing others. After motivating, another function of this manager is to directing the others. Others means employee from his team. Directing, giving direction. Use this technology, use this tool, use this machinery, right? So this is expected. So that kind of direction is expected. The next one is that selecting the most effective communication channel. Selecting the most effective communication channel. Friend, if one manager is there, there may be the thousands of employees. Right? General manager, if one manager is there, thousands of employees are there. So how you will communicate to all employees? You have to select that communication channel. Getting? Then resolving conflicts, issues amongst the employees. Yes, every organization has conflicts, issues among the employees, right? He is doing that, some political issues, right? So politics in the organization, you may heard. So issues will be there. That worker is not doing properly. He is having always a rejection rate. I am suffering due to him, right? He is not doing work fast, like that. Conflicts may be anything. So who will resolve that issues and conflicts from employees? Obviously, manager, right? So concerned manager should handle this issue and he should resolve that. Not only handle, he has to resolve it, that issue, right? Then in short, you can say like leading means influencing and motivating the employees to perform the task assigned to them. In basically you can say influencing म्हणजे तुमचा परिणाम व्हायला पाहिजे त्या व्यक्तीवरती. काय व्हायला पाहिजे? मी सांगतोय काम. He should listen it, right? And he should feel like, yes, boss is telling something valuable. That feeling should not be there like boss is always right. Influence should be there on employee. And motivating the employee to perform the task. Motivation for performing, getting the work done only. Getting? Not motivating for leaving the organization, existing organization. That may also motivation, right? In negative way, you can say. So this is the leading. Okay. The next function of manager is controlling. Monitoring activities to ensure objectives are achieved as a plan and correcting any significant deviation. Controlling means what? Monitoring the activities. Monitoring means continuously observing that activity, whatever planned, decided activity is there. So observing that particular activity means controlling. To ensure achieved as per the plan, it is achieved or not, or achieving or not. Whether everything is going as per plan or not. Yes, plan is made. But if you are not having control over the plan, then success rate is very less. So in our planning generally, this is the problem. Controlling is not there. You made plan for study. Yes, I will prepare 2 units today. But there is no control. Right? So you have made plan, but you have no control. So you will go to watch TV. Right? You will go to play football, cricket, or you will sit for chit chatting. You will waste your time on mobile. Controlling is not there, right? Controlling on our mind, it is not there. That's why we waste the time, right? So that's why our plan is never executing, right? So if you are having control over it, then definitely it will execute. Remember, friend, control, always monitor that plan. Yes, I have planned this so and so activity from 10 to 11. If not happen, what is the reason, right? So friend, try to understand controlling is very important. And if that something deviation is there in that plan, if something is not happening as per the plan and small deviation is there in your plan, so immediately you should correct there, immediately, otherwise your plan will not execute. Okay, so these are the basic 5 functions, and along with 5 functions, next function is a coordination. Coordination is very important. What is coordination? Achievement of the harmony is the coordination. सुसंगतता म्हणतो आपण. हार्मोनी म्हणजे काय? सुसंगतता. एम्प्लॉय काय म्हणतात ते तुम्ही ऐकलं पाहिजे, तुम्ही काय म्हणताय ते एम्प्लॉयने ऐकलं पाहिजे. कोऑर्डिनेशन फ्रॉम बोथ दी साइड्स, and there should be a harmony between employees and a manager. And this is also function of manager. Manager has to take lead for coordination. Getting? So these are the 6 functions of manager. Basic 5, but in one additional coordination. Okay. Anybody want to add anything behind this? Have you understood these functions of manager? Can somebody want to add, comment, or want to ask any doubt? Very simple, right? So I hope you got the answer why our plans are not executing. Reasons are these many. Are you with me? Like, are you agree with me? Like, yes, these are the reasons. This controlling, coordination, direct to ourselves, right? We are not doing it. So this is a personal part, but in industry, these functions you have to follow anyhow. Okay. Anything anybody want to add? Shall we proceed? Shall we proceed to next bit? Okay. So let us see next bit. Social responsibility and ethics in managing. Social responsibility. What is social responsibility? From name itself, whatever perception is there in your mind, social responsibility. Society's related responsibility, right? It's true. In managing, you have to consider certain social responsibility also. So what is social responsibility? Social responsibility means individuals and companies have a duty to act in the best interest of their environment and society as a whole. Company has duty to act in the best interest for society, for environment. That is social responsibility. And what is the ethics? What is right, what is wrong, right? So it is a set of value and rules that decides what is right and what is wrong. That decides right and wrong things. That is ethics. Getting? So in managing, these 2 things are very important: social responsibility and ethics. I hope you understood these 2 terminology, because I want to tell how many aspects should be considered while managing social responsibility related and ethics related. So let us start a discussion on workers related responsibility in managing. Workers related responsibility. Now friends, workers, if you see that count compared to management level employees, it is always more. Management level people are very less in the organization, but workers are more. So organization are using efforts of their employees, workers, right? Skills they are using, and they are achieving their organizational goal, right? Due to workers, organization is there. Try to understand. If they will not work, they are using their effort, they are using their time, they are using their skills, whatever they learn in education, whatever learn in their academics, they are using it there. They are using their experience, and they are helping to achieve your organizational goals. Now, what is the responsibility of manager, organization, social responsibility, right? It is a social responsibility. Yes, workers are part of society. That's why it is worker-related social responsibility. So it is responsibility of manager to pay fair wages and other financial benefits. Right? Whatever decided salaries are there, you should pay it. Suppose that person is working more than 8 hours as per the norms, overtime you should pay to that particular worker. If anybody is performing well, bonus is there. You should pay whatever incentives are there. So you should pay it, right? They are doing efforts for your organization. So it's responsibility of manager to plan for fair wages, salaries, and other benefits, financial benefits. Along with it, it's responsibility of manager to provide growth opportunity. त्याच जागेवर ठेवायचं नाही एम्प्लॉईला. सो ॲज पर by looking at his skills and his efforts, his dedication, you should give him opportunity of growth, like give promotion after 1 year, 2 year, 3 year. Just check his performance, his skills, his dedication, and depending on it, you have to provide the growth opportunity. It is a responsibility in managing. Then another thing is that maintaining good organizational culture. It is a responsibility that in managing manager has to consider, right? So that pleasant environment, workers will work very nicely with good mood, right? With good productivity results they can show, right? So these are the worker related responsibility. So this is also social responsibility, worker related or employees related. Then consumer related responsibilities are there. What are those? Consumer means customers, your end users of your product, right? So consumers should be charged a fair and reasonable price. You should not exploit the consumer or your customers. Whatever decided rates compared to other products, right? Sometimes people think like it is our brand, so kai pan किमती लावायच्या. So it should not be there. Getting? And it is not ethical also. Product should be easily available. If after launching that product, it must be reachable to people, right? Or available to people. The next one is that product should not be harmful to health. Right? Sometimes people are producing the product, and you may have seen like during traveling, people enjoy the chips, banana chips, but they no result at the evening, right? Because they are not using good oils, good procedure, good packing, right? Good masalas and all this. So even soaps and cosmetics nowadays, if you see, some cosmetics are harmful, right? People are not taking care. So product should not be harmful to health. So this is also ethics, and it is responsibility of manager in managing. Then should not be misguided through false advertisement. So you may have seen whatever advertisement we see, many times we think like, is it true? That question is always in our mind. We see advertise of soap, right? We see the advertise of creams. We see the advertise of oil, right? Who is making advertisement of oil? That person himself is getting this heart attack and saying like this oil is very good. So this is another part, but try to understand at various places we observe the wrong advertisement. For selling the product, people make the wrong advertisement, right? So that consumer should not be misguided. So manager has to follow this ethics. This is a responsibility, right? Social responsibility. Illiterate people may believe so and so well-known person is doing advertisement of oil, so yes, I should purchase that oil. Getting? So people believe. This is era of advertisement also. People believe, but as a manager, he should not have false advertisement, right? Then providing the proper service to every customer. So this is the responsibility manager has to follow. This is consumer related responsibility and some of the ethics. Then owner related responsibility. Owner should involve all the stakeholders. All the stakeholders means from your everybody is your stakeholder in your organization. Your all employees, your all customers, your all suppliers, your all investors, your stakeholders, right? So you should involve them, right? If somebody is investing a huge amount of money in your organization, you should involve that person in that particular organization for making decision, making deciding strategies and or not. So this is the responsibility of manager in managing, and owner has to allow it. Then taking part in management activity. Many owners you can see they are not taking part in the management. They think like, yes, I have recruited manager. They are having authority. They will decide what to decide and what not to decide. But as a owner, owner has a responsibility that he should take part in the management activity. Getting? So next responsibility is their supply related responsibility. Supply order within time. If you have decided, if you have taken responsibility like, yes, I will provide so and so component every day, sub assemblies every day. So it's your responsibility to provide order within time, because you have to understand, if you will not provide the order within time, his line will stop and so many employees will be idle. His machineries will be idle, right? So you have to understand, like supplying the order within time, what is the importance. Getting? So this is very important responsibility related to suppliers. Then next responsibility is to maintain good relationships with management. So whom you are supplying, so maintain the good relationship, give them order within time, pay their bills, right? Whatever financial process within time you should do, right? Give time, whenever give proper time and appointment and get the work done, right? The next one is that provide the accurate information to suppliers. Sometimes people hide information. Suppose you need 1000 ton material, but you hide, like you say आता बराचसा slack येणार आहे, आता मटेरियल नसणार आहे, मटेरियलचा शॉर्टेज आहे, so you will purchase more amount of material, more tons of material, and you are providing wrong information to that particular supplier. So this is the problem, right? Then do the payment in time. Friends, it is very important in our daily life also. We should pay within time. If supplier is supplying material to you, right? So he is also having dues with somebody. So within time you should pay. And due to this, your relation will be good with all the suppliers. This is a responsibility actually. Doing payment within time is the responsibility of that particular manager. Yes, you are taking some service, you are taking some product from somebody, then it's your responsibility to pay for that. Yes, after 1 day, 2 days, you are going to pay, but why not within time? Once you get the material, once you get the invoice, then immediately you should pay. You should not make delay for that, because supplier is also a responsibility for that particular product. Getting? So these are the social responsibility related to supplier. Then government related responsibilities in managing. Tax, right? So tax is going to government, but government is using for the society. So is it social responsibility? Yes. Paying the tax to government within time, whatever decided as per the whatever product you are selling, accordingly you should pay the tax. So it is a responsibility. Then you should follow the laws and regulations of all the whatever norms, pollution related norms and all these. Then avoiding unethical things and corruption. So this corruption is another part. It is a very broad issue, but these unethical things, whatever happenings, like producing, not following the norms of pollutions and all these. So it should be followed, right? And society related responsibility. Organization should provide the general facility for the betterment of living. So CSR, under CSR activity, you may heard about the CSR activity, social, corporate social responsibility, CSR, right? Corporate social responsibility. So this is very well known. Those who are having a net profit of 5 crores, they are allowed, they are mandatorily do the CSR activities that you are knowing. So like that, every organization should do that. Particular eligible organizations only, those are having profit, net profit above the 5 crore, and they should provide some facility in the society. Then maintain health environment, healthy environment, and controlling the pollution. They should maintain healthy environment. They should have greenery inside their organization. They should control the pollution. They should take corrective action for pollution. They should take management activities. They should not take the decision which will be harmful to society, like hazardous gases storage, insecure in various places, especially in chemical industry. Then management should maintain the business policies and practices. Whatever policies are there, that particular management should follow. This comes under the society related social responsibility. Okay. So these are the various responsibility, social responsibility of manager during managing. Supplier related, then owner related, consumer related, worker related, right? So these are the responsibility. Okay. So this is about the today's session. Anything you want to add? Like, sir, this maybe comes under the social responsibility. You can take 1 minute to think and put in chat box, or if anything is not there, then you can put your message of your roll number in chat box, and you can quit also. Roll number should be kept once only. Some people are putting 2 times, 3 times. So those who are putting number 2 times, twice, thrice, I am marking them absent. These people will come to me like, why my attendance is less. That time I will show them how many times they are putting roll number in chat box. I can understand once. If you are putting roll number once, I can understand. Okay. If no doubt, no question, no comment is there, you can leave the meeting.